Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I'm also the creator of the concept known as common sense self-mastery. The concept that is about to master oneself, we often have to take those common sense steps that are right in front of us. Have you ever heard or wondered what the word selfish actually means? I know that we can immediately know that selfish means, okay, if you have like a little pie or something and your sister wants a piece and you don't give her any, that can be considered selfish, right? Or maybe if you have an abundance of clothes and somebody needs clothes and you don't give them any, that's a type of selfishness. And we're very familiar with that idea of selfishness. But have you ever wondered what exactly the selfishness actually is on a deeper level? Well, I know that recently I was listening to Grant Cardone speak, and he talked about how he was telling a millionaire that this millionaire said to him, "I'm very happy with the amount of money that I'm making. I don't see why I need to make more." And then Grant Cardone told him, he goes, why are you being so selfish and just thinking about yourself? You see that? And so that planted a seed in my mind. And then later, again, I read it again in one of his books, and it all clicked for me that sometimes we can be selfish because we just take care of ourselves and we don't take care of others. For example, myself, I'm at the age and the stage of my life where I'm considering, having a family, and that's a very common one to take care of, or people know that they got to take care of their family. But at the same time, one of the other things that people kind of forget is, or maybe they overlook, some people, is taking care of their parents and stuff like this. And so, we need a certain amount of income in order to pay for our own things, but eventually start taking care of our parents. And it made sense to me because imagine if our parents would have just taken care of themselves when we were young. They said, well, I got my chicken breast or I got my dinner, and they didn't make sure that we were fed. And so that's what is starting to come to the surface as to selfishness is often when we don't do more for others and maybe just ourselves. Now, granted, there is a stage in life or a point in life where we have to take care of ourselves primarily. I have, however, seen that I have taken care of myself for many years. But to get to the next level, I'm seeing that I'm really having to operate from the level of love and purpose and the desire, the dreams, the passion to want to provide for my future family, my parents, my dad. I'd like to be able to clear my schedule a few times a week and make sure that he gets training. I've trained many people, but my father's not going to be able to pay me for training, and so I'd have to do it because I love him only. And I get to sometimes, once a week or so, or sometimes we miss that. But I'm at that stage where it's like, I really have to produce a certain level of income to get to that next level where I can give freely. Take care of the groceries, take care of the cell phone, the rent, the car payments, the car insurances, etc., etc. You get the idea. Clothing, the food, everything, and still have enough money to give. Let's say my parents need something in the future for doctor bills, etc., etc. And that's just my parents. And then let's say, beyond that level, it's the community. What can you do for the community? Maybe can you build a business and give away free this or free that? And again, these are different levels of thinking that, some people often think that just because a person wants to make an income or more money, that this person is greedy or selfish. On the contrary, it's when a person doesn't make sure that they make enough income to take care of others, that they're being selfish. And this is a new perspective. Okay, this is a newer way of thinking of things than is the common. The thing is that it requires a lot of focus, a lot of mental clarity to trim away at some of the ideas like that we're used to, like, okay, well, I'm not being selfish, I'm gonna take care of myself, and I share occasional little this or a little that, but it takes removing sort of the average social constructs of what selfish is, to become more, to push ourselves more, to sacrifice more of ourselves. This takes a higher level of being than is typical, okay? And this is where it becomes challenging, all right? So am I there where I can do exactly what I said? No. However, I am taking steps towards that direction. You might have gotten this video, maybe I sent it, maybe you found it on YouTube, but I myself am taking steps to this video itself is a declaration of sorts, this new level of commitment to this idea, okay? And so, is there a solution to going from the old definition to a newer understanding of what selfish is? The solution is to commit. The solution is to push, experiment with little ways of increasing income. Myself, the main vehicle I use currently right now is Advocare, and I've been with them for 5 years, and yeah, it's changed my life. My friend just got back from a exotic vacation in Mexico. He's talking about how delicious the food is, et cetera, and that's where some people, I call myself the dream architect. It's because I'm committed to developing the dreams of people that I engage with, whether it's getting in better shape because that's their dream, or getting a vacation, or having more financial freedom. And oftentimes when we know that we want that car, we want a better life, or we want more time with our kids, or to have a family, or have enough money to have a significant other, or start dating again, or whatever it is, whatever our dreams are, we have to establish them and obsess about them and pray on them and demand them from life. Because if we don't, then they're really not going to happen. And that's what happens when we see that people don't achieve things, is they sort of took often like what life handed them. And life isn't just going to just pop it on your legs, it's just not. You need discipline, you need vision, you need desire and passion, perspectives that are shifting, commitment, sacrifices. And if you listen to those words, I'm willing to bet that if you've achieved anything, that's exactly how it works, right? It's not some real weird, jump on one leg, whoa, woo-hoo, like stuff that doesn't make any sense. Discipline, commitment, focus, hard work, sweat equity, persistence, resilience. These words here, when applied to certain dreams, and then we begin the architectural process, the blueprint, and then the building of construction of those dreams. This video itself, it takes a certain amount of focus to achieve. It takes a certain amount of guts to say and establish and share, right? However, it's what I need. Like, there's really no, okay, do I need to take care of my dad? Do I need to help him with his body because he's got diabetes? And if I'm helping the world, but I can't help my own dad, think about the dissonance that I feel. But if I can't, am I in good shape? Yeah. Do I have good health and good energy? Yeah. Have I helped others get the same thing? Yeah. But if I don't help my father, what does that say to me in the mirror when I look in the mirror? Think about that feeling. If you can imagine helping a lot of people in fitness and health and not helping your own father, if you can imagine that feeling for a moment, that's what I feel. And so I just want you to think about that in a way, it feels selfish if I don't step up to the plate. Is it hard to do what I'm saying? It isn't easy. It isn't like just, let me get some ice cream at the store. That's easy. I can go get ice cream at the store right now. But to truly build enough of a business, for example, with Advocare, I'm financially free enough to the point where I could, Tuesdays, be ready, Dad, and I'll go, and maybe I'll even hire another trainer. We'll do it together, or whatever. You get the idea. To have that level of success does take a certain commitment. So it's not necessarily easy to get to this understanding or operate from this level of understanding, but it's important. I'd love to hear yourself. Maybe you have some ideas as to selfishness, and the idea of being selfish is not a very commonly talked about idea, especially on the higher levels. Like what I'm talking about. This is a higher level of understanding. In other words, just like Grant Cardone told that man, you're a millionaire. Why do you want to stay there? Why are you being so selfish? Why are you only thinking about you? That's a millionaire, right? So that's the idea. It's like to think of this higher level of thinking. Like, why aren't you going to create more jobs? Why aren't you going to do something like, Anthony Robbins, for example, gives away so many, turkey dinners every year. You see what I'm saying? Think about, like, if you look at that and you say, well, that's him. Well, on some level, that's what I'm saying. There's a level of selfishness to that. If you yourself, do you believe the capacity is in you to do something like that? If you absolutely say no, okay. But what if you said, I believe you believe you could, but you don't? Then that's where selfishness starts definitely coming in. Me, I believe it's very possible I could do something like that one day. You see what I'm saying? And that's where I'm going to make a video like this and start moving in the process, and you pick up today where it is. It doesn't mean I have all the time in the world to make a video like this. It doesn't, but it's like, okay, what's the blueprint? What's the architecture of the end game, or how are we really going to achieve these visions or these dreams? And it's from making the video to taking, your omega fish oil, to getting the workout in, to going to sleep early. It becomes a blueprint, just like a house. There's an architecture to building dreams. Just like a house has, it has a. If there was one thing missing in your house, like a doorknob on one of the doors, it would set your door. It would set your house a little bit imbalanced. Now you can't open that door potentially, right? Or let's say one of the sink faucets in the house is not working. Now you can't wash your hands. You see how? So it just takes one thing to sort of offset it, and also by that same token, one thing added improves the entire scope of the house. Just like one thing moving forward improves the overall movement and the construction of the dream. And that's where I came up with the concept of dream architect. Okay, so it's a very, very functional idea. The only difference I think is that people, when you say you want to be an architect of dreams, people will often not like that, because it's ambitious and it's lofty, and it requires a little bit of courage, and there's a little bit of dissonance in our society with that, because people sometimes think that success is greed, when in reality, achieving and success, it takes a lot of selflessness. And again, keep that in mind as you move through your achievements in life. You'll realize there's a lot of ego that you have to put down in order to achieve those things. Okay, and so keep that in mind. Yeah, that's the way it was. It's normal to think that in the past people thought that being successful and acquiring wealth and building an empire of sorts, or having that as a goal, was selfish. And now we're seeing that that's actually the opposite of selfishness. Selfishness is really just drinking alcohol all the time, eating all the time, sleeping all the time, not pushing yourself to your maximum potential, not caring about the other people that love you and how you can contribute to them. That's real selfishness. Okay, and so we know that now. We can start seeing the polarity between that. So definitely think about it yourself. Write down how maybe you're being selfish, or how maybe you have a blind spot. The blind spot is like scratching your right elbow with your right hand. A blind spot is something you can't see. But maybe with this video now you can write down, maybe you are being a little more selfish, like I was. Like maybe in the past I was just taking care of myself, and I need to start really thinking about my parents and my future family more than I am. Okay, and that's a good thing for you to do. Yeah, and you may ignore this. You may think I'm full of shit or whatever, or you might think, this guy, whatever, screw this guy and his stupid ideas. But I'm coming from a very sincere, vulnerable place. These ideas aren't something that I'm just throwing at you because I have all the time in the world. As a matter of fact, this video helps me just as much as it helps you. It's a mirror effect. It's helping you. It's helping me. It's both. It's a symbiotic process, because I'm being very sincere about what I'm saying. And I challenge you to go ahead and really think of success as really the anti-selfishness, and failure or the ability to not care. That's actually real selfishness. Okay. It's a very common thing for people to think the opposite of that. That success is selfish, or you have to be in reality you have to think of others. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe. Love to hear what you have to say. This is Jacob Adams signing off. You have a wonderful day. Let's get to it. Building your dreams.